Atomic Habits by James Clear. How small changes can transform your life. Why do some people seem to completely transform their lives, while others struggle to maintain even the smallest change? Why do we often know exactly what we should do? Exercise more, read more, eat healthier, be more focused, and yet somehow we fail to stay consistent. Most people believe the problem is motivation. They think they lack discipline. They think they lack willpower. But what if the real problem is not motivation? What if the real problem is something much smaller and at the same time much more powerful? The systems we use every day. In his best-selling book, Atomic Habits, James Clear introduces a powerful idea. Real change rarely comes from dramatic transformations. Instead, it comes from small improvements repeated consistently over time. Small habits, small actions, small adjustments that accumulate day after day. Just as atoms are the fundamental building blocks of matter, small habits are the fundamental building blocks of a meaningful life. In this video, we will explore the key ideas behind atomic habits and how these ideas can completely transform the way you think about progress, discipline, and personal growth. But before we begin, if you enjoy deep reflections on powerful books that can expand the way you think and live, consider subscribing to the channel. Welcome to Mind Evolution Library.
James Clear did not begin his journey as a productivity expert. In fact, the path that eventually led him to write Atomic Habits began with a serious accident. During high school, Clear was a promising baseball player, but one day, during practice, he was struck in the face by a baseball bat. The accident caused severe injuries. His nose was broken, his eye sockets were damaged, and for a period of time, he completely lost his vision. The recovery process was long and extremely difficult. For months, he struggled just to regain basic abilities. But during this time, something important began to happen. Instead of focusing on dramatic breakthroughs, he began focusing on small improvements, small actions, small habits that slowly helped rebuild his strength, his discipline, and his confidence. Over time, those small actions began to accumulate. Eventually, he returned not only to normal life, but also to a successful athletic career. This experience deeply shaped his understanding of progress. Years later, James Clear began writing about habits, behavior change, and performance. His articles spread rapidly. Millions of readers became interested in his practical insights about human behavior. Eventually, those ideas evolved into the book Atomic Habits, a book that would become one of the most influential personal development books of the modern era. At the heart of the book lies a powerful idea. Success is not the result of one big moment. It is the result of hundreds of small actions repeated consistently over time. One of the central messages of Atomic Habits is surprisingly simple. Small changes can produce extraordinary results. James Clear offers a powerful example. Imagine improving by just 1% every day. At first, this improvement seems insignificant, almost invisible. But over time, those small improvements begin to accumulate, just like compound interest in a bank account. After 1 year, improving by 1% every day does not make you slightly better. It can make you 37 times better. But the same principle works in reverse. Small negative habits also accumulate. A small harmful habit repeated every day may seem harmless, but over months or years, it can create profound consequences. The lesson is simple. Habits are not about immediate results. They are about long-term accumulation.
When people think about change, they usually start with goals. Lose weight, read more books, earn more money, learn a new skill. Goals seem like the natural path to success. They give us direction. They allow us to imagine a better future. But James Clear proposes something surprising. Goals are important, but systems are far more powerful. A goal is a desired result. A system is the process that leads to that result. For example, imagine two people who want to run a marathon. Both have exactly the same goal, but only one builds a consistent training system. This person creates routines, schedules training, improves nutrition, and protects sleep. The other person simply hopes to achieve the goal, but never develops the daily structure that supports progress. In the end, the difference is not the goal, the difference is the system. James Clear explains something very important. Winners and losers often share the same goals. In sports, everyone wants to win. In exams, everyone wants to pass. In business, everyone wants success. But only a few people build the systems that consistently lead to that success. Goals define direction. Systems create progress. Most advice about habits focuses on results. Lose weight, read more books, be more productive, earn more money. But James Clear explains that behavior change happens at a deeper level, the level of identity. Identity answers a simple question: who do you believe you are? If someone believes they are not disciplined, building discipline will always feel difficult. If someone believes they are not a reader, opening a book will feel like a chore. But when identity changes, behavior becomes easier. Instead of trying to achieve a goal, you begin building a new story about yourself. Instead of saying, "I want to run a marathon," you begin thinking, "I am someone who takes care of my health." Instead of saying, "I want to read more books," you begin thinking, "I am a reader." Each small action reinforces that identity. James Clear explains this idea in a powerful way. Habits are votes. Each time you practice a habit, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. Write one page, and you vote for the identity of a writer. Study something new, and you vote for the identity of a learner. Take care of your body, and you vote for the identity of someone who values health. Identity does not change overnight. It changes slowly, through repetition, through small pieces of accumulated evidence. And when identity finally changes, habits become much easier to maintain. To understand how habits form, James Clear presents a simple framework. Every habit follows 4 stages: cue, craving, response, reward. First, something captures our attention. That is the cue. Then comes the craving, the desire to act. Next comes the response, the behavior itself. And finally, the reward, the benefit the brain receives after the action. That reward reinforces the habit and increases the chance that it will happen again. Based on this cycle, James Clear proposes 4 practical laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. These principles help design habits that the brain naturally wants to repeat. To understand how habits form, James Clear presents a simple framework. Every habit follows 4 stages: cue, craving, response, reward. First, something captures our attention. That is the cue. Then comes the craving, the desire to act. Next comes the response, the behavior itself. And finally, the reward, the benefit the brain receives after the action. That reward reinforces the habit and increases the chance that it will happen again. Based on this cycle, James Clear proposes 4 practical laws. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. These principles help design habits that the brain naturally wants to repeat.